Donald Trump stops the bloodshed in Syria after long and difficult negotiations led by the U.S. administration. Israel and Syria have announced a ceasefire. I call for a complete ceasefire by all parties to the conflict. Everyone must comply. I believe that we will be able to work together and overcome this crisis. Over the past week, there have been bloody clashes in southern Syria on ethnic and religious grounds. Clashes between Druze and Bedouins, joined by Syrian government forces and later also the Israeli army, have resulted in over 500 deaths. The de-escalation of hostilities in Syria is supported by two key points of this agreement. Firstly, the demilitarization of southern Syria, south of Damascus, and secondly, an issue of great importance to the Israelis, namely the protection of Druze followers, who in recent weeks have been systematically murdered by Islamic radicals in Syria. As it turns out, the Israeli Defense Forces and the Israeli government have taken the Druze under their protection. American diplomacy has brought everyone to order, at least for now.
Oh, and we've made a tremendous commitment there to stabilize Syria, and our special envoy, Ambassador Barak, is leading that. And of course, we know of that escalation. Clearly, we've been involved in addressing it.
The Israeli-Syrian conflict has been resolved, and stabilization forces have been deployed to the war-torn areas of southern Syria. Our task is to maintain stability and security in areas where different ethnic groups are fighting each other. We are committed to protecting civilians, especially children, and with God's help, we will succeed. The Middle East is a powder keg, but in recent weeks alone, the U.S. administration has managed to extinguish many fires. Iran and its nuclear ambitions have been pacified. Israeli hostages released from Hamas are returning home. Trump has visited Middle Eastern countries, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates, offering them American weapons and technology. And now a ceasefire has been negotiated in Syria. Here, Trump himself is the guarantor. However, he is so unconventional. He acts very transactionally, realistically, as evidenced by the Middle East. Trump, through his personality, is able to stabilize the situation. I'm not saying that he will solve all the problems that have accumulated over the centuries, but at least he will guarantee some kind of stability. Of course, it is difficult to talk about peace in the Middle East because it is a long and complicated process. But there is a lot of positive news, such as the return of Israeli hostages kidnapped by Hamas almost 2 years ago.
We got most of the hostages back. We're going to have another 10 coming very shortly, and we hope to have that finished pretty quickly. And Steve Witkoff has been fantastic. He's done a great job.
Trump is effective. In the end, he brings about a ceasefire. There are fewer casualties, and importantly, Trump, in the case of Israel, shows that he does not have his favorites, that America's interests can be aligned with pro-peace and simplification measures, and that this can be coordinated in some way. He also shows strength. Recently, for example, the Israeli Prime Minister had a very unpleasant conversation with Donald Trump when Israeli troops shelled the only Catholic church in the Gaza Strip.
Committed to reinforcing your right to self-defense, and whether it's new capabilities, that defense, or lasting peace, we look forward to working together even more. So, Mr. Minister, thank you for being here.
Syria also has a chance for peace. What happens in the coming months after the overthrow of dictator Bashar al-Assad will be crucial. Will the Syrians, now that they are no longer under this protectorate or agreement with Iran or Russia, be willing to enter into a favorable political agreement that will somehow open Syria up as a country, that will be supported by Western countries? It seems that this is the key that would currently be a good direction for lasting peace. Donald Trump makes it clear that he is open to talks with Iran, Syria, or any other country that wants peace in the region.